How does one acquire virtue? Is it through diligent study, rigorous training, or does it spontaneously spring forth from nature? This is the question that Meno in the Platonic dialogue kicks off with, and it's a question that Socrates quickly determines is impossible to answer without first defining what virtue or arete actually is. In their discourse, Meno presents three distinct definitions of virtue, each met with Socrates' thoughtful response. The first definition Meno offers is relative in nature. A man has his virtue, a woman hers, and so too does a master and a slave. Socrates, however, challenges this perspective, seeking a universal definition that would apply to all regardless of their role or status. Meno, however, counters that virtue, unlike other concepts, cannot be universally defined as it is dependent on the circumstances. Meno's second definition of virtue is the ability to control people. Socrates finds two issues with this definition. Firstly, this would mean that virtue is not present in everyone, as children or slaves cannot control others. Secondly, he proposes that the definition should be expanded to the ability to control people justly, not unjustly. Yet this still does not provide a universal definition of virtue, as it merely provides an example of it. The third definition Meno proposes is that virtue is the desire for good things and the ability to acquire them. Socrates, however, refutes this, arguing that everyone desires good, even those who desire evil, as they are simply mistaken about what is good. This suggests that virtue is based on knowledge, which motivates action. When a person knows what is good, they will act correctly. Following this line of thought, Socrates suggests adding justly to the definition, making it the desire for good things and the ability to acquire them justly. Yet again, this definition falls short as it simply offers an example, not the universal definition Socrates seeks. At this stage, Meno despairs, doubting not only his ability to define virtue, but also the possibility of knowledge in general. He argues that there's no point in seeking what we already know, and what we don't know can't be sought as we don't know what to look for. Even if we happen to find what we're looking for, how would we recognize it? This paradox forms the foundation of Socrates' theory of recollection. In conclusion, the dialogue between Meno and Socrates explores the complex nature of virtue and the challenges in defining it universally. The key takeaway is that understanding virtue is more than just providing examples or relative definitions. It requires deep introspection and a universal perspective. The dialogue also raises questions about the nature of knowledge itself, paving the way for Socrates' theory of recollection.